Hello, future classes of Jayne Zanglein's Law 285 mediation course. My name is Brackett. I am literally just finished the final assignment for her course. It is May 3rd, 2012. She asked that I send you a little video, just a couple minutes, about what it was like for me mediating a real case versus doing the mock mediations in class that I'm sure you will, if you haven't already, be doing. During the course of this semester, I had ample opportunity to mediate cases. In fact, Jayne made sure that I was always the mediator. And during it, I got to really kind of practice my skills. I learned, the steps that you have to take, the processes, how to speak, how to kind of listen effectively, how to diffuse situations, but it was all pretend. I mean, really the mediations kind of depend on how willing the participants, the parties, are to really adapt themselves to the character that they're supposed to pretend to be. So if somebody's really mad, if the character's supposed to be really mad, but the student who's playing that character doesn't really care, then you're not going to have a problem mediation, and you're not really going to be able to exercise your skills. So more often than not, I'm sure that you find, if you haven't already, you will find that most of these end in either quick agreements or the party is way overboard and there's no way you're going to fix the problem, so don't worry about it. But when I actually got to mediate a real case with Jayne over at the courthouse, it was an entirely different sensation. For one, there's a lot more pressure because if you're really in the room, with these people, talking to them about the real conflict that they were sent to court over, there's a lot of pressure, because if you screw up, or if you don't take it seriously, or if you affect the outcome or anything like that, then this can, stop the mediation, and then these people have to go solve their problems in court. So for me, it was a little bit intimidating. The guys were older. I'm not going to go into too much of the details because, as I'm sure you know by now, one of the big conditions of being a mediator is confidentiality. But the guys were older. I was by far the youngest person in the room. In fact, the observer was even a lot older than me. So at first I was timid. I didn't really want to speak much. I let Jayne do most of the talking. She definitely took the lead, and I only chipped in where I felt it was applicable, and I really couldn't do that much damage. A lot of the times I was just reframing what the other party had said, or kind of trying to say what Jayne said to make it seem like I was on the same page. But throughout the mediation, I kind of grew more comfortable. I really connected, I felt, to the parties. I really cared about the issues that they were dealing with. I wanted to help them get through it. So I took on a little bit more bold of a stance and began speaking more and talking about, trying to draw out information, thanking the parties for whatever they've contributed, trying to make a safe space. I really felt like, for the first time this semester, that I really became kind of a mediator, and it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling to see these guys who had originally came in so just button heads, had no interest. Well, I mean, I don't say that, but conflicts breed conflicts, and guys, especially dudes around here, are pretty, macho. So they're not really going to want to open up necessarily. So to see these guys who were, diametrically opposed at the beginning, really kind of transform from what was just a fight, basically, to really opening up and discussing with each other. And by the end of it, I mean, I wouldn't classify them as friends, but they were, shaking hands and talking about the wives and everything like that. So just this 45-minute period produced that transition. And it's really hard to register the effectiveness of mediation. I'm sure you'll write about it and you'll talk about it this semester about how wonderful of a process it is, but until you really get to see it, and I'm not even talking about seeing it, like I've observed and I've seen that happen, and I was like, yeah, that's a cool process, but if you really have the opportunity to be at a central role and really facilitate a discussion and help these people change and sort out the conflict, and then they leave there not only getting out of court, but also better people, I feel like that was really, really inspiring. It definitely changed my whole outlook. I gained a lot more respect for mediation walking away from that, and I was proud of myself for what I would accomplish that day, and thankful for Jayne for everything that she had taught me. She really is a wonderful teacher. You have a lot to learn from her. Write your papers, put in good effort, don't miss class, especially during the first 7 weeks where you have to come to the weekend training course like I did, and it's a little pain. But most of all, enjoy it and understand that the skills and tools that you gain from this class are probably one of the most applicable to real life that you'll ever have. I know, especially for me, conflict resolution and especially mediation this will not be like algebra or something like that where you never really use it again. This will be something that day to day will, assist you in your life. So enjoy it. Try to make this short. This is the last thing I have to do for my college career. So Jayne, I thank you for everything you've done, and I wish you the best of luck in your future classes, and hopefully I'll never see you again.